The second most searched question on the internet about trauma is, how do I know if I have a trauma? So how does somebody know if the past is still affecting them?
I like to look at how much is someone in the window of tolerance. Now, the window of tolerance is something I think we all innately understand, but I like to lay it out. So if you imagine the window of tolerance is your emotional state when you can think, feel, and act at the same time. So you have to be somewhat grounded in the present. You have to be calm but alert. It's a pleasant awareness of where you are, or maybe not pleasant, but it feels like a good homeostasis.
Is it what we like to think of as normal?
It's what I would hope most people are at for their normal, their baseline. I would say at least 80% of the time.
Okay.
People with trauma, they get knocked out of that window of tolerance totally understandably. Mm-hmm. And if you're above the window of tolerance, you're going to be super anxious, hypervigilant. You're going to be anxious, restless, really kind of just keyed up. And when you're that activated, you can't think, feel, and act at the same time. Mm-hmm. You're probably reacting more. You're probably having racing thoughts that aren't grounded in where your brain would normally be functioning. And you have this physical agitation that's really uncomfortable. So that's being up above the window of tolerance. And then below the window of tolerance, you're more dissociated, numb, more depressed, kind of checked out. And both of these are totally understandable responses to something. Someone with trauma, they're going to find their window of tolerance is itty bitty, and that they get knocked out of it much easier than someone that doesn't have a major trauma. So things that make you really agitated or restless, or things that make you dissociate, they're just happening more often. And the goal of trauma therapy there is to widen that window of tolerance and give you tools to keep you in that window of tolerance so that you're pleasantly aware, alert, but not hypervigilant, and able to engage with your surroundings in a way that is grounded and adult.
I'm hearing you and understanding the levels, and also thinking how difficult it would be to recognize it in yourself. Yeah. Because when you are particularly raised, let's say, in chaos, I read something on the internet that said that red flags don't look like red flags. They look like a Tuesday.
Mm-hmm. Fish don't notice the water, right? If you are raised in chaos, chaos is going to feel normal to you. I work with a lot of healthcare providers, lawyers, people in high stress environments. And I always say, well, it's not a coincidence that you ended up there. This high stress environment feels so normal to you. And to some extent, thank goodness, because we need emergency room doctors. We need EMTs. We need people that function quite well in a crisis. And my goal when I'm treating someone that works in a high stress environment is that, they're in that kind of zone of genius at work, and then they can come home and actually come into the window of tolerance and enjoy their personal life. Because that is the difference between a life of purpose and meaning and a life of just intense stress that doesn't feel meaningful.